Welcome to the Sykes and Company PA video blog.
Well, DRFEs today is a major item. It represents anywhere from 1.5 to 3.5% of total accrued revenues for most pharmacies. The issue is most pharmacies don't realize what those numbers are. They don't track it. They don't look at the reports that are available. And frankly, only in the last year and a half have most of the pharmacy script systems provided data that provides what those DIR fees are. And the DR fees typically are subtracted from the third party PBM payments. So the monies that you have coming into your pharmacy electronically are coming in net of DR fees as well as adjudication cost. And unless you go back and adjust your revenue for those net amounts that are being taken out as fees, then your revenue is understated, your gross profit is understated, your gross margin is also understated. And so what we like to do is to pull the reports that are available from the third-party reconciliation systems, like FDS, using that as an example, and making these adjustments at month end so that gross margin, DR fees, expense, as well as the gross revenues are correct, so we know exactly what those are and then we can track it versus prior year trends. And obviously, any tracking that anybody's doing, you'll be able to see that those fees are up dramatically over last year. I know the industry, the NCPA, is working very hard with the CMS group, the government group in DC, to have some resolve on DR fees. In fact, I was just reading this morning there was something that just came out this past weekend where they thought there was going to be some adjustments in 2020 for that, but they were not mentioned in the regulation, and they're still working hard so that those fees can be adjusted pretty dramatically. But DR fee accounting and DR fee reporting is a very misunderstood, very mishandled process with pharmacies in today's environment that we see, without question. Not easily at all. So again, most of these systems are coming out through the script, through the third-party reconciliation systems, where the third parties are reporting that information that they get from the insurance carriers. Again, 2 or 3 years ago, we got very little of that, and it's ever increasing the information that the insurance companies are providing the pharmacy benefit managers and in turn the third party reconciliation systems. But there really isn't a better way to do that. There are some script management systems that are giving you an estimation of what they are at the time a script is filled, but that's just an estimation. But there's a lot of confusion in the industry about not only the fact that these are substantial amounts, but also the accounting for these fees in today's environment. Well, again, it mostly is affecting your gross profit and your revenues the most. Because if you're not reporting your revenues at gross, in other words, if you adjudicate $1,000 of claims and you only get back $850, and you're only showing $850 as your revenue, your cost of goods sold isn't going to change. Your gross margin is going to be down. And what's happened in that scenario is you got $150 either DR fees or adjudication costs, and we would add back that to income and then show the DR fees and costs down below the gross profit line, which increases the gross profit to give you a more accurate reading of what your gross profit is in the pharmacy. And again, that's the most important number and metric that we look at in a pharmacy, is what that gross margin number is. Number two most important KPI there is what your salaries are as a percentage of total revenue. But it all starts with having the right revenue recorded. So if you're not reporting the correct revenue because it's being deducted out and you're just picking up the net checks that you're getting, you don't have an accurate accounting system. But again, most of these fees are 1.5 to 3.5, sometimes 4% of total revenue, so it can be off that much. And when you're looking at bottom line numbers being from 3 to 4 to 7% pre-tax net income, that's a substantial amount. Make sure that the accounting folks that you're dealing with understand what we just talked about. If they don't, you probably have the right people and you have the wrong people involved in working through your system. If they don't know what a PBM is, a DR fee is, what we just talked about with respect to how to get this data and information through your third-party reporting system, you need to reassess who you're dealing with. Otherwise, what you're looking at on your numbers is totally inaccurate.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, we invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel.